The Noles are coming off a 13-0 record in 2023. They were an underdog just twice, and they won both of those games. It was the first and last game of the 13-game schedule, LSU and Louisville. It's early in the year, but how many games can FSU win in 2024? Well, the answer quite simply is 13 or more if they were to make the playoff. And if they don't make the playoff at 13-0 this year, we will officially riot. But the question is not how many can they win, it's how many will they win. Richie and I chat about that here. Let's go quick, rapid fire schedule wins and losses. All right, so we just did Georgia Tech, but quick recap. Yeah, there's a lot that could potentially go wrong with Georgia Tech. There's a lot going on, but no excuses. If you're a 10-point favorite,
you got to win.
You should win this game. So 1-0 to start the year. Come home, BC. I mean, this was a game that everybody liked to point to. Again, I'm not trying to overhype a schedule that I think you should have success against, but BC, you come home, you do get the extra day because it's on Monday night, but it is a smaller dope crowd, unfortunately. I'm going to have a lot of people kind of hungover from Ireland. A lot of Guinness, I'm sure, will be flowing. Will the team be hungover from whatever happens in Ireland? Castellanos went off last year, and they played you to a 2-point game at their own stadium. Obviously, there was some flu and stuff that went on, but how concerned are you with BC and who wins?
Not very. Castellanos did not look good the rest of the year. Florida State wins that game. Even if Castellanos plays like he did last year, he won't. Spoiler: there's zero chance he plays like that again. Florida State wins that game. I think fairly comfortably. I think by 10 to 17 points, Florida State wins that one.
All right, I've got us winning too to get to 2-0. Week 3. Actually, we've got then the bye week, right?
The first of 3, yeah.
I like it. I like the bye week there. Next one. Is that Cal next week? No, Memphis. Memphis next. So Mike Norvell's old team. Nobody on that team, though, that he coached, I wouldn't think, right? This is year 5. Yeah, not at this point. Maybe a COVID holdover? I don't know.
We'll see.
But anyway, Memphis comes in. Worried about them at all? What thoughts there?
That's a win.
Yeah, I've got us winning. I tried to hype that one up, but couldn't. Cal the next week.
That's a win.
Yeah, 4-0. I would be shocked if we were not 4-0 to start the year.
Yeah.
But then comes a tougher one, I think, at SMU the very next week with Clemson the week ahead. I know that a lot of people saw SMU get blown out by BC in the bowl game where SMU's quarterback didn't play. I think SMU will be better. They were a good team this year. What's your are you more worried about this game than any of the other to start the year? Like that we've talked about so far, not like on the whole schedule.
I have this as a loss.
Oh, wow.
I just think it's a trap game. I think Lashley is a phenomenal coach. You know, Fuller's had trouble with Lashley in the past. I think we drop this game.
Okay. I've got us winning. I've got us going on the road and staying focused and winning, but I do think it's the closest game so far. Of the first 5, I think it's the closest. I think Florida State finds a way to win. I think the trenches are the difference, and they find a way to win. So I'm 5-0. Richie's 4-1. But is it worth it, right? Was looking ahead worth it because you beat Clemson the next week, Richie?
Yes, we do beat Clemson. We make it 2 in a row in Doak. Again, I wish this year was a true, 70+ thousand fans at the stadium. It will be, between 40 and 50,000 fans. But man, I do think Florida State beats Clemson second year in a row and reclaims their title as the king of the ACC. I think that's where we're going. Florida State beats Clemson. It'll be close. It'll be a tough game, but Florida State wins.
So this early, I'm gonna flip flop with you. I'll say this is the loss. I don't want to. I want to, and I'll probably pick us as we get a little closer to the season. I just need to see it in spring. Like there's just too many question marks for me at this point. Like I need to see and hear how DJ looks as we go through the spring. Not that that's the end all be all, but I just think Clemson has a little more coming back at this point. Really, really good game last year. Florida State was fortunate to win it. I think it'll be another close one, and I think the Noles drop a close one to Clemson. Sorry. I know you guys wanted me to pick us to go 12-0, but I wanted to as well. I do think we coming off the bye week though, Friday night against Duke, I do think we get the win there.
Yeah, that's a
I think
win.
we beat
That's a
Duke.
win.
All right. So tougher one though. The next week we stay on the road and we take on Miami. We get the extra day to prepare for Miami. Miami plays Louisville the week before on the road. Obviously, it's down there in Doak South, so it'll be a 50-50 split crowd, if not maybe slightly favor FSU. I think Miami will be riding a lot of momentum here. Their beginning of their schedule sucks, and I think they're going to have a lot of wins, even if they lose to Louisville the week before. Thoughts on Miami, Richie?
People don't want to hear this. Miami is going to be good next year. They will be a top 15 team in the country, in my opinion. The fact that they finally got their quarterback, which shocked all of us, I think. Miami's going to be good. But I do think, home field advantage is not necessarily a thing. It could be if they get the momentum going their way in the game. I think Florida State wins that game. I'm taking the Noles. I think Florida State wins that.
I have the Noles as well. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a really close game. I trust Mike Norvell as opposed to Mario Cristobal as coach.
Yeah.
I think Uyunglele will be good. I think he'll play well. I think he'll have things figured out that late in the year. I still like Florida State at some other positions much more than Miami. I don't really know what Miami has at wide receiver. Or running back. I think Florida State's in a better position to go out and get this win.
Yeah.
I've got us getting that one against the Hurricanes. Then North Carolina back in Doak. Feels like we hadn't been there for a long time since the Clemson game, obviously, but a bye week in there as well. So North Carolina at home, I don't have a ton of concern here. I think we win this one.
Yeah, Mac Brown 0-10 against Florida State. Make it 0-11.
It'll be – I like it. Wanted to take a quick moment and thank our friends over at Knapp Injury Law. Alex Knapp is a diehard Seminole fan just like you and I are. He is an FSU grad, and he owns Knapp Accident and Injury Law. You can go to knappinjurylaw.com right now. If you've been hurt, injured in an accident, you know somebody who could use his services, make sure you recommend Alex. Plug his number into your phone. We've been asking you to do that all year. 813-568-3724. You may never need him, but if you're in the state of Florida and you're hurt in any kind of an Uber and Lyft, auto injury, work injury, whatever, give my guy Alex Knapp a call. 813-568-3724. I appreciate his support, not only of Florida State Athletics, Florida State's NIL, and this channel, but also a really good friend. He tailgated with us a ton this year. So make sure you're supporting Knapp Injury Law in your time of need in this state of Florida. And then comes the big one.
Yeah.
Going to Notre Dame. I'll go first on this one. So I've made you go first a lot. I've got this as another loss. And I think it could be really close. I need to see kind of how Riley Leonard plays in this, but I've got us dropping this one.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't want to say that I hate, we're a positive show for the most part, but man, that's a tough game, especially in November. It's going to be cold. I went up there when Willie Taggart was the coach. It was like 22 degrees at kickoff. Just the most miserable game I've ever attended in my life. Maybe outside of the 2010 ACC championship when it was 30 degrees and raining against Virginia Tech and Charlotte. I'm a huge Marcus Freeman fan. I just think they're going to beat us in that game, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm about to predict us to go 10-2, so I don't feel that bad. So we beat Charleston Southern, and then it comes down to Florida.
Yeah. We're going to beat the shit out of Florida.
I like it. Yeah, I think we do too. I really like us against Florida to take the record to 10-2. The big question is going to be, and this could be a video all by itself. I'm not going to do it, I don't think. Do we get into the championship at 7-1? Either way, I don't think it matters. If you get in the championship, you win it, you're in, obviously.
Yep.
10-2, getting left out, and your only losses are to Notre Dame and Clemson, who I would assume Clemson is in the championship at that point. I think you make the playoff at 10-2. I know we're hard. I know that we're jaded from last year, but if we get in, you got a chance to win, maybe a rematch against Clemson. If you don't, I think you make the playoff either way.
Yes, I have us a 7-1 in conference play because the Notre Dame loss doesn't count.
Correct.
Right? It doesn't matter. And, I have to lose in the SMU, whatever, but I have us beating Clemson. So I think we're in a really good spot, and we're going to go to Charlotte. And if you win in Charlotte again, like we did this past year, yeah, you're in the college football playoff. They cannot leave you out at this point. They have to take you. So I have Florida State 10-2 in the college football playoff, and anything can happen from there, man. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've been this excited about Florida State football and the season that could be. But I do think that 2024 Florida State will be a college football playoff team.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I've got us in the playoff too. Might be sneaking in there late, but I think you've got a chance to win every game, and so we'll see if they do. I appreciate you guys tuning in. What do you think our record is going to be? Now, I'm not going to hold you to it. It is January. A lot can happen between now and then, but if you had to call it now, what are you calling? Let me know down below in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed our conversation about this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Go Noles.